UFC Atlanta takes place this weekend, and in this video, I want to be giving you my exact predictions for how I think every fight in the card is going to play out. So without further ado, let's get into the picks. First fight on the card is Vanessa Demopoulos taking on Jamey-Lyn Horth, and you guys know me. I love me a long shot underdog, which is why we are not taking the long shot underdog in this matchup. We're taking Jamey-Lyn Horth minus 400 to win by decision. Vanessa Demopoulos is a small strawweight, okay? She is moving up to flyweight now, so she's going to be even smaller in this matchup. Vanessa is decent on the feet, so if this remains standing for 3 rounds, I can maybe see Vanessa winning a striking battle decision. But if Jamey-Lyn Horth is going to win here, the game plan is very simple. The blueprint to beat Vanessa is out. She does not know how to defend a takedown. She is comfortable off of her back. So Jamey-Lyn Horth, all you got to do is just control Vanessa against the cage, control her on the ground. I mean, Jamey-Lyn Horth did the same thing to Ivana Petrovic, who I think is way better than Vanessa Demopoulos. She was able to control Ivana against the cage, control Ivana on the ground. She even got a little control time against Miranda Maverick. Jamey-Lyn, just shoot takedowns and grab Vanessa. That is how you win. You should be able to win easily doing that. Do not entertain a striking battle because that is how you'll lose. So Jamey-Lyn Horth, if you're smart enough, we're going to find out in this matchup if your fight IQ is high, you should win by decision. Next up, we got the battle of the interesting IQ fighters. Phil Rowe taking on Ange Loosa. Both guys, it seems, don't like winning. But we're going to take Ange Loosa to win by decision, minus 150. I just think Phil Rowe throws way too low volume to win a decision. He is not good at winning decisions whatsoever. Almost all of his wins are by finish. And in this one, Ange Loosa just does not get finished. He's very durable. I think Loosa also has the takedown upside. He can get this fight to the mat. He can win minutes on the ground as well. I think Ange Loosa will just win a control battle for 3 rounds. And I think he also has a better gas tank than Phil Rowe. We saw him go 3 hard rounds against Gabriel Bonfim in Denver in high elevation. And that was not even that long ago. So Ange Loosa, I think, is durable enough to win. And I think Rowe has the worst fight IQ of the two. I think both kind of lack the fight IQ, but I think Phil Rowe might just be a little worse. Give me Ange Loosa to win by decision. Then we got Ricky Simone taking on Charles Jourdain. This is another fight where I'm like, tempted to take the underdog in Charles Jourdain. This is his second fight at bantamweight. He won his first fight against Victor Henry by Meme Gilly. And unfortunately, I think that's the only way he can win this matchup. I think Ricky Simone is going to have all the takedown upside. I think he has the grappling upside. I think he can win minutes on the ground, minutes against the cage clinching. And he also has the power advantage as well. He has one-shot KO power. Charles Jourdain does not really possess that. Charles Jourdain can potentially win a volume striking battle if this just stays at range for 3 rounds. Granted, we have seen Ricky Simone not really shoot for a lot of takedowns in his recent fights. So if he doesn't really shoot here, Charles Jourdain could win a volume striking battle. But if Ricky Simone mixes the martial arts, lands the big shots, gets takedowns, he should win pretty easily. And I doubt that Charles Jourdain will be able to get his meme guillotine in this matchup. That seems to be his only path, in my opinion. Charles Jourdain meme sub. Other than that, I think Ricky Simone should win this wherever the fight goes. So Ricky Simone to win by decision. So we got Cody Durden taking on Jose Ochoa. And then yet another fight where I was like, oh, Cody Durden, easy pick. But the more I look into it, that's not going to be the pick here. Jose Ochoa, minus 190 to win by decision. He is 10 years younger than Cody Durden, okay? He trains at Shoot-A-Box, and almost every fighter I've seen out of Shoot-A-Box presses forward, gets takedowns, has high power, and Jose Ochoa has all those things based on the tape that I've seen. Also, keep in mind, his only loss, very razor-close decision against Loner Kavanagh, and Loner Kavanagh right now is 1 fight away from being in the flyweight top 15. So if you had a close fight with Loner Kavanagh, you train at Shoot-A-Box, you're 10 years younger than your opponent, who is really a one-trick takedown pony, I think Jose Ochoa should win this wherever the fight goes. So we're going to see his IQ really tested here, because if Durden gets takedowns after takedown after takedown and Ochoa just lets it happen, never picking Ochoa again. But this is the one fight where we're going to really see Ochoa's IQ tested, and I think he's going to win. So we got Malcolm Wellmaker taking on Kris Moutinho. And no, I'm not tempted at all to take the underdog here. We're taking Malcolm Wellmaker minus 1,300. It literally says, it's not rocket science to pick a minus 1,300 to win. All of 6 of Kris Moutinho's losses are by finish. Say that Malcolm wins a decision is kind of being a long shot thrown out there. A lot of people are like, oh, Moutinho is durable because he lasted 3 rounds with O'Malley. Well, he still got finished in the 3rd round, technically speaking. And all the other 5 losses he has are also by finish. Malcolm Wellmaker is a great counter KO striker. Moutinho is a zombie that likes to move forward. Therefore, you combine the two. Malcolm Wellmaker should land a counter KO at some point in this fight. I'm going to say round 2. And we got the battle of the unks. We got Michael Chiesa taking on Court McGee. And the easy pick is Michael Chiesa to win by decision. He's going to move forward, get takedowns, get clinch control time, but we're not taking the easy pick. We don't take easy picks on this channel. We're taking the plus 330 because he has a solid path to victory, okay? In all of Court McGee's 23 UFC fights, not one of them has he been controlled for more than 3 minutes. I doubt Michael Chiesa will be able to break that streak. Michael Chiesa is 37 years old. Court McGee is 40 coming off neck surgery, granted, sure. But he did look pretty leveled up against Tim Means. He got a takedown, got a neck crank submission. And Michael Chiesa is a submission grappler who has 5 submission losses on his record. So he can get out-grappled by a better grappler. Not saying that Court McGee has better grappling than Chiesa, but if the fight does get to the ground, I think Court McGee is strong enough to reverse positions. I also think Court McGee, if he's the one that's offensively wrestling, can get the submission himself. It basically comes down to who's going to shoot the first takedown. I kind of think Chiesa will, but as long as the fight stays standing, McGee will win every minute. He throws way more volume than Chiesa. He has way more power than Chiesa. I'm just banking on Chiesa not having extreme takedown success like he's been having in his last 2 fights. So Court McGee, as long as it stays standing, will win. And if Court McGee is the one offensively wrestling, he will also win. So for those reasons, I think plus 330, that's good enough for me. Court McGee by decision. And we got Paul Craig taking on Rodolfo Bellato, and I just took a long shot underdog, so you guys might be like, oh, he's going to take Paul Craig. No, we're not taking Paul Craig. We're not doing it. We are not taking Paul Craig. At first, I actually was. I watched his interviews, and he's like, oh, there's no way I can lose this fight. I need to win this fight. But watching the tape, Paul Craig, number one, rarely offensively wrestles. So if this fight stays standing, he's cooked. He's going to get out-volumed and potentially knocked out by Bellato very quickly if this fight stays standing. Now, the only problem with picking Bellato is his fight IQ is not the best. I think there is a chance that Bellato shoots takedowns. If he shoots takedowns, he's cooked. Don't shoot takedowns, Bellato. Just don't do it. He's shot takedowns in almost every fight I've seen of his, but in this one, please do not shoot a takedown, Bellato. Please just keep it at range like Kyle Baralho did against Paul Craig. Just keep it at range for the first round, win the round on the scorecards, and then eventually just pepper it on Craig in the second one, really pour it on him, and find the KO victory. I think that's exactly how this fight plays out. Bellato's main issue is his chin. Craig has no real power striking, so that's not really a concern here. The only concern is a meme sub from Paul Craig, and I'm taking the flyer that Bellato will not get meme subbed. So Bellato wins by KO in the second round, I'm saying. Next up, we got Alonzo Menifield taking on Oumar Sy, and yet another matchup where there is a big underdog that has been in the UFC for a while, like Paul Craig, and they've shown signs of success in their career recently, like Paul Craig. So Alonzo Menifield might be a worthy dog shot. Well, not on this channel. We're taking Oumar Sy to win by decision, minus 550. He's 8 years younger than Alonzo, which at light heavyweight is a lot. He's going to be way quicker, way faster, way stronger. Oumar is also going to have a 7-inch reach advantage in this matchup. He's also going to be multiple inches taller than Alonzo. So if this gets into the grappling wrestling, which is Oumar Sy's wheelhouse, I think he can get takedowns on Alonzo. Alonzo's big claim to fame is he has great takedown defense, but Oumar Sy is huge. And he has great grappling, great wrestling. Even if he can't get the takedown, I think Oumar Sy could win a distance striking battle because his reach is enormous. Alonzo really in this matchup is KO or bust. I'm not really sure how he wins. I don't think he can win a volume battle against Oumar, and I don't think he's going to offensively wrestle either. So Oumar Sy, I think, has all paths to victory. I think if he gets takedowns, he can get a ground and pound KO. He can get a sub. If he doesn't get takedowns, I think he can win a volume battle on the feet at distance. So Oumar Sy to win by decision. And we got Cody Brudage taking on Mansur Abdul-Malik, and yet another fight where there is a big underdog. I'm not taking him, though. I'm taking Mansur Abdul-Malik, minus 725. Cody Brudage does have one-shot KO power. Cody Brudage does have takedowns he can go to. But Mansur also has one-shot KO power. Mansur also has takedowns he can go to. So I'm not really sure how Cody Brudage wins this other than like a Homer Simpson meme KO in the first round. That's really the only way I see Brudage winning. And if that's the only way I see Brudage winning, I can't possibly pick him to win this fight. I just don't know how he loses this fight. He's 8-0 undefeated. So when you see an undefeated prospect, you're like, oh, they've never been tested. So the first time they get tested, they might lose. Well, he actually has been tested. All right, Nick Klein nearly knocked him out in the first round in his last fight. Wes Schultz was giving him problems on the feet in the fight before that. And he was able to dog it out, tough it out, and win in the second, third round KO. So I think the same thing happens here. I think Brudage could make this a dog fight in the first round. He's going to slow down eventually. And when he slows down, Mansur is going to land that KO shot. Give me Mansur Abdul-Malik by round 2 KO. Next up, we got Cody Garbrandt taking on Raoni Barcelos. Cody Garbrandt is the underdog in this matchup. I've only picked one underdog so far. It was a long shot dog with Court McGee. But I'm not taking an underdog here. I'm pretty confident in Raoni Barcelos to win this by a round 2 sub, or just a sub in general. Garbrandt has just looked completely washed in all of his recent fights, and the only fights he doesn't look washed in is against guys that are actually even more washed. Trevin Jones didn't really throw any strikes. Brian Kelleher has no neck. You know, fights like those, Cody Garbrandt can win, but a fight against Raoni Barcelos, I'm not sure he can do so. Raoni Barcelos has great takedowns, great jiu-jitsu. Cody Garbrandt just got ragdolled by Deiveson Figueiredo and subbed in the first round. I'm not sure what the difference is between Barcelos and Figueiredo in terms of like their skill set. Barcelos can shoot takedowns like Figueiredo. Barcelos has good volume, better than Figueiredo on the feet. Cody Garbrandt, I think, only wins if he just knocks Raoni Barcelos out cold, which is a possibility. We've seen Raoni knocked out by a lesser puncher in Oumar Nurmagomedov, so that is a possibility. But if that's the only way he can win, Raoni wins every other way. He can win a decision by getting, points fighting on the feet. He can win a decision by getting minutes on the ground. He can even submit Cody Garbrandt if the fight gets there. So for all those reasons, we're taking Raoni Barcelos by a round 2 sub. Next up, we got Edmen Shahbazyan taking on Andre Petroski, and it is the battle of two guys that are very hard to trust. Very, very hard to trust. However, there is one guy that is even harder to trust than the other. I think Edmen Shahbazyan is harder to trust than Andre Petroski. Andre Petroski, we're taking him to win this fight. Plus 160, my second underdog picked on this card. We're taking him to win by decision, and the blueprint is basically out there on how to beat Edmen Shahbazyan. Just take him down, control him on the ground, gas him out so his KO power goes out the window, and later in the fight, when it stays standing, you can win a volume striking battle because Edmen's not going to have the power, not going to have the cardio to last with you on the feet. So I think the blueprint is there for Andre Petroski. He can get takedowns, he can amass control time, he can win a very boring decision. And even if it stays standing in the later rounds, once it hits the later rounds, at that point, I think Edmen's KO power will go out the window, and Petroski can even win a volume striking battle on the feet at that point. The only thing that worries me is Edmen Shahbazyan does have deadly KO power early in fights, and Andre Petroski has been KO'd early in fights. He even got KO'd by Jacob Malkoun's hip. So if you get KO'd by a hip, Lord knows what an Edmen Shahbazyan 1-2 will do to your brain, but that's kind of like just tinfoil hat theory. We're trying to make good picks, good decisions here. I think Andre Petroski has just way more ways to win this fight than Edmen Shahbazyan. I think Edmen is round 1 KO or bust, similar to a Cody Garbrandt, similar to a Paul Craig with meme sub or bust, similar to a Charles Jourdain where he's meme sub or bust. I think Andre Petroski can win this any way he wants. If he just gets the takedowns, gets the clinch, I think he's going to be stronger than Edmen too. Give me Andre Petroski by decision. And we got the co-main event of the evening, Rose Namajunas taking on Miranda Maverick, and the easy pick, the easy close your eyes pick without looking into it, is Rose Namajunas to win this by decision. Very easy to do that. She can obviously out-volume Miranda on the feet. Miranda doesn't really look that good in the striking department, so if this stays standing, Rose will win this fight. But I'm taking my third underdog of the card. I'm going with Miranda Maverick plus 210 to win by decision. Even if this stays standing, Rose just throws way too low volume to trust. She just does. She has some power, but nothing crazy. Nothing Miranda Maverick hasn't seen before, in my opinion. Rose at this point is on her way out. Miranda is the up-and-coming prospect on her way in. She's the one that's young and hungry. Rose is the one that's just hanging around fighting these up-and-coming prospects nowadays. She did make Tracy Cortez look like a fool in the striking department, which is a possibility here for Miranda Maverick, but against Erin Blanchfield, she was taken down at will in rounds 3, 4, and 5. Just taken down, controlled for the entire rounds for 3, 4, and 5. And I think there's a very good blueprint for Miranda Maverick to follow. Just get takedowns, which is her main thing, and just amass control time against Rose Namajunas. I don't think it's that hard. In a 3-round fight, I think that actually favors Miranda Maverick. She doesn't need the cardio to go 5 rounds. She can go all out and get the takedowns and just sell for the takedowns and lose her cardio, lose her gas tank. She can win the first 2 rounds just with takedowns. Rose's takedown defense is not elite. It's not super good. And Miranda Maverick is a pretty good wrestler who's amassed like 10 minutes of control time in almost all of her wins. So in this one, I think the writing's on the wall. Miranda Maverick can easily win this if she just shoots for takedowns and amasses control time. And Rose has shown that maybe her heart's not in the game anymore. Miranda, she's going to put those sunglasses in at weigh-in, and you're going to be like, whoa, she looks locked in. I think Miranda might be like plus 150 by the time the fight starts. I'm taking Miranda to win a very boring decision. Just grind it out. Just grind it out. Dog it out, Miranda. You have what it takes. I don't think Rose is going to have super success on the feet. So Miranda by decision is the play. And we got Kamaru Usman taking on Joaquin Buckley in the main event. And it's just impossible to trust Kamaru Usman at this point. I got to go with Joaquin Buckley to win this by decision. I'm giving Kamaru enough credit to survive 5 rounds with Buckley. Buckley's recent resume is kind of nuts. He KO'd Colby Covington, even though it was doctor stoppage. He KO'd Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. He beat Nursultan Ruzaboyev clean, who since then has not lost, is on a win streak. I mean, this guy, Joaquin Buckley, is just evolved at welterweight. He has crazy KO power. He has good offensive wrestling if he wants to. He has good anti-wrestling, anti-grappling. He's not really easy to take down either. Not really sure how Kamaru Usman wins this fight. If this took place 5 years ago, Usman would be minus 400. He would win easily. But the fact that it's now, Kamaru hasn't fought in 2 years. He has no cartilage in his knees. Buckley has now been tested against multiple top 15 fighters in the welterweight division. Usman hasn't fought at welterweight in over 3 years. His last fight was middleweight against Hamzat 2 years ago. So this guy hasn't really cut down that much in a long time. The only way I see Usman winning is if he just jabs like at range and keeps it a weird tit-for-tat striking battle. But other than that, I don't think he's going to get takedowns on Buckley. I don't think he can knock out Buckley. And I think Buckley just wins this by any means necessary. I'm going with decision.